Hey honey, welcome to my channel Design by Adam. My name is Teresa, I'm a professional fashion designer. And today I want to teach you how you can create a color story using Adobe Illustrator. In this video, I'm going to use a photo and pull some colors from that photo and create a color story to use for my new snowflake collection. So I'm going to use a photo that is kind of wintry, kind of cool colors. And I'm going to use that to create prints, to create my color story, to create patterns. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So when I design something, I may start with a photo or a painting, maybe a work of art, some inspiration, some theme for the collection, and that's my starting point. So I see many fashion designers making mood boards and creating color stories using markers or pencils, color pencils, or paint. And that's fine, but that doesn't work for me. It really doesn't. I do not have the time to do that. I use Pantone because when I move into production, I'm going to be using Pantone anyways. So I just skip the other steps and I just go with Pantone from the beginning. So I normally check out Pantone's trend forecasts and I check out WDSN or other trend forecasting services, and I do my research first, right? I figure out which colors are trending, which colors are coming in next year, and also I consider my theme for the collection, the age group, the season, what kind of clothes it is, If I'm designing underwear, I'm probably choosing other colors than if I'm designing sportswear, right? And outerwear tend to have other colors than t-shirts, right? So you need to consider all of that, and then you need to create your color story. Okay, so today, since it's like winter and we're getting closer to Christmas, I wanted to design a collection that I have named the Snowflake Collection. So I'm going to be using some snowflakes and creating some winter wonderland kinds of prints and patterns and some Christmas prints, and I wanted to create a color story for that. So I like to be a little bit untraditional, right? I like to find my own way. So I found these photos of beautiful snow leopards. If you watched my videos a few weeks back, you watched me make a leopard print for a Balmain t-shirt that I was designing, right? I'm just like craving leopard these days. And I love the snow leopard because the colors are so cool. And this picture in particular is beautiful because it has like this light purple kind of advent color-ish background, right? So I'm gonna use this photo and pull colors from it. Let's go. So a really easy way to create a color story in Adobe Illustrator is to open up an image of your inspiration. It might be a photo, it might be an artwork, whatever it is. Use an image of it, open it up in Illustrator. You click on the image, you go to image trace, and you see this little arrow next to it. Click there and choose 16 colors. Okay? And just let it work. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but it's so worth it because it really does save you a lot of trouble. Haha, see, it's done. Okay, I'm gonna click expand. And now I have a vector image, and I don't really care too much about the image because I just want the colors. Okay, so I'm now going to select the image, and I'm going to go here to swatches, and I'm going to click new color group down here. Click that, selected artwork, include swatches for tints, and I'm gonna call it the Snowflake Collection. And hit OK. Ta-da! Now I have all of these colors right here in my swatches, ready to go. So if I was going to make a mood board right now, I would create little shapes right here and add the colors from the artwork. And I would probably name them. I usually name the colors. Sometimes, like for these, maybe I would call them Dusty Lilac, or I would call them dove gray or something like that, right? So right now, this is kind of tedious, but I'm just adding all the colors from the artwork below here. So if I'm presenting this mood board to my assistants, my product developers, or the brand I'm designing for, or another client, then they can kind of see where I'm going with this, what kind of colors I am planning to use. I'm gonna pull this over here so you can see it. I'm just gonna color all these shapes in the different swatches so that it's easy for anyone working with me to see where I'm going with this. And as you can see, there are a lot of very similar colors here right now. So I would probably select a few to move forward with, and I would delete some because you don't need all of these dusty lilac colors, right? So I would definitely delete some of them. When you have this color group, I would recommend saving it. So I would go to these lines right here, click there, save swatch library as AI, and I would call it Snowflake Collection, and save it to my swatches, Snowflake. There we go. So here's the snowflake pattern that I have just made. Now I'm gonna take my new swatches and I'm going to apply them to this pattern swatch. And if I like what I see, then I will take the pattern swatch and save it in my swatches library over here. And I can use them on products and garments afterwards. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna play around and I'm probably gonna land on a few shades that I prefer, and I might delete some other ones, right? Because there are many very similar colors right now, and I don't need that. I need to just narrow it down and just choose a few preferred colors, okay? So let's start and see where this goes. I'm gonna start with the first color. Okay, what happens if I use a lighter one here? I like it, so I'm gonna save it. Select all of this and just drag it over to swatches. There we go. I'm gonna test it out. Always test to make sure it's nice and seamless and doesn't have any white stripes anywhere. Yeah, it is working well. So I like this. It works well. I like it. It's seamless, and these colors are very wintry, kind of Advent-ish because they're like dusty lilac, and I like it. So gotta remember which colors I used. So in order to remember which colors I used, I'm just gonna drag them over here. So I used the first one and I used these two for this print. Okay, so I'm gonna keep testing out some different colors here. Might want to do one that's more gray. Let's try. No, it's too light. Ooh. Maybe like that. Yeah. See, that's beautiful. Perfect. So what I'm doing now, I am just saving the swatches here, and I'm putting the solid colors next to the pattern swatch so that if I'm making a garment, I might want the lining to be one of the solid colors, and maybe the outside pattern is the snowflake pattern, right? So I just want to be able to find them easily, so I am just putting them right here next to the print. So what I'm doing, I am just pulling my solid colors and adding them to the swatch library right next to my pattern swatch. So when I'm using them on a garment or on a product, it's really quick and easy for me to find them because they are all next to each other in the right order. So this pattern used these two colors, this pattern used these two colors. So it's easier for me to use them, okay? And this is going well so far, at least I think so. I'm coming up with some good color combinations here, some nice patterns. So it's going to be exciting to try these on products and clothes. So that's how you do it. You just open an image in Adobe Illustrator. You go to image trace, select 16 colors. You can select less colors if you want to. Create your new color group, save the swatch library, and start designing. And you're probably gonna edit and maybe add some swatches. Maybe you need some more neutrals, or maybe you need a contrast color that just makes everything pop. Or maybe you need to delete some color swatches. Like right here, I have way too many similar colors, so I'm gonna delete some of them. But I'm first gonna start to apply them to my designs, to my prints, to my patterns, and then we're gonna see what works. If you're a professional fashion designer, you're gonna wanna use these guys. You're gonna want to translate your color choices into Pantone colors. As a fashion designer, this is your best friend, almost. It's a pretty good friend. I bring this with me everywhere. When I'm going into meeting, when I'm talking to buyers, customers, brands, I always have this with me, because if I have designed something for them and they like 2 of the color combinations but they don't like the 3rd, then I can easily pull this out and, you know, suggest a change, and then we can maybe settle on something right away. So I always keep this with me, okay? And as you can see, can you see? It has a color code underneath each color, right? And when I design, first I will sit and go through colors on this fan. And then I will pull out my Pantone color books and I will tear off these little chips right here. See how you can tear them off? And then you have all these swatches and you can combine them, and you can take one out and switch it around, you know, and you can just create a color story easily and see it in daylight and walk into different rooms and just make sure that these are the good colors that you want to use. And then you use the color codes and just punch it into Adobe Illustrator, and all your sketches, all your drawings, everything is in the right shade. So you don't have to spend time in Adobe Illustrator trying to match that navy that you have selected, because you just punch in the numbers and it's right there. So it's really easy to use. I really strongly recommend you to use Pantone. So as a fashion designer, you're gonna want to bring this guy with you. I know it's kind of heavy to have in your purse, but when you are walking around in the streets of London, or you are in Paris at Première Vision, or you see an amazing plaid pattern somewhere, or you just love the color combinations of a beautiful piece of art, you can use this to get the correct color codes so that you can recreate the same color combination when you are designing in Adobe Illustrator at home in your office. Okay? I use this all the time. I cannot be a professional fashion designer and not have this. When I talk to producers, when I talk to clients, the brands I'm designing for, product developers, or anyone else, I always say, okay, I think we should go with 16, 21, 24. What do you think? And then they can have their own fan and they can be like, it's a little bit too light. Maybe we should go with 18, 21, 33 instead. And I can be like, okay, I agree. Let's do that. So when we all have the same standard, it's so much easier to communicate, even when we are in different countries, or just like now in Corona, maybe we're not in different countries, but everyone is working from home. And this makes it easier to communicate because colors can look so different on different computer screens. So this standard makes it easier to avoid confusion. So that's how you do it. That's how you create a color story in Adobe Illustrator. This is how I created my color story right now for the Snowflake collection. And it's quick, it's easy, you will look like a professional doing it. If you liked this video and found it helpful, make sure you hit the like button and share it with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos. I post new videos every single Friday. And I would love to hear your thoughts about all of this. I would love to get to know you guys. So comment below, introduce yourself, and let's help each other out. Okay? See you in the next one. Bye.